At 4 in the morning, my phone rang. They said, I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action. Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Early break with Sip and Jake.
So he can maybe run a
So
little
like
bit.
speed option, those things, all you want to do.
Speed. I can't see much.
It's also it's,
Uh-oh.
look what you did. Look what you did. Look at Bill.
Down.
Come on
Just
now.
calm down.
I don't say anything about semicolons or should there be a
Word usage?
parentheses or
Too many commas over there.
Too many
Zip. Come on.
run-on sentences. Don't talk about that. It's not my wheelhouse.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning. Live from the heart of Lincoln, America. Welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hello. You guys hear me all right? You good?
Yeah.
You good to go?
Yes, sir.
You hear me?
Yep. We're back. We're back with the Doane project, Swing, Swish, and Serve. As you can see, my counterparts are actually absent today. So today it's swing, jump, and jump higher for right now. So we got two gentlemen from the Doane track team joining us today. As always, you can tune in on Allo Channel 961, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, all of the live streaming services, and text in at the Starter Heyman hotline, 402-464-5685. You can also call that number as well. So gentlemen, people here are kind of familiar with me. I golf at Doane University, and this is kind of the little project that we do to introduce the Nebraska population, the 93.7, the ticket viewers, to small town athletics and small college athletics. So could you guys just give me a little introduction of yourself and what you do at Doane University? So Zach, I'll have you go first.
Yeah. My name's Zach Turner. I'm a senior accounting student at Doane, part of the track team, hurdler, sprinter. Obviously been a part of the team for a few years now, so got a pretty good grasp on what we're doing. Do you want me to go more in depth on that, or just kind of leave it at that?
Talk about your other, or just list your other obligations on campus that you're kind of a part of.
Yeah, so obviously accounting courses take up a little bit of time, but also in Delta Kappa Pi fraternity, treasurer for them, do tutoring on campus, accounting tutoring, and a couple other courses. Beyond that, also on the SALT team, student athlete leadership team with you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's a few of my commitments.
Mr. Carter, how about yourself?
I'm Carter Reckling. I'm an ag business major, senior here at Doane as well. On the track team, I do high jump. I'm part of DKP as well, and then FCA and ag business.
Awesome.
Clubs. So
awesome, fantastic. So what events do you guys run or perform in track and field?
I myself, so all the hurdles, 60 hurdles, 110 hurdles, 400. 4x4 relay, 200, 400. So all the good stuff.
What is your favorite out of those?
Oh boy. Definitely, I don't know. One of the hurdles, I kind of like them all equally. The 400 obviously is a little bit more painful.
Yeah.
But no, they're all fun. I like the shorter ones too. They're a little bit more intense, and that's fun. So yeah.
Mr. Carter, how about yourself?
I just do high jump. I used to do the 4x4, but I gave that up. So
okay, awesome. So now strictly high jump. You're just mastering your craft now, senior year.
Yes, sir. Trying to.
Trying your best. So you guys are originally both from Crete, correct? And so tell us. It'll probably be a little bit more straightforward, but tell us your journey to Doane and maybe growing up around the area. How Doane has become, kind of very central to you and home in a sense. So let's do Carter first. Carter, do you Do you got any comments, or just tell us your journey getting to Doane?
Yeah, so basically, I mean, I knew Ed since probably 5th grade, so that was probably a pretty good connection. I mean, he helped me with high jump in 7th and 8th grade, and then as I got older, I jumped with them during the indoor seasons my sophomore and junior year, then COVID, obviously. So me and Ed had a pretty good relationship, as well as Zach. We used to hang out a lot, so that's probably what got me to Down the most.
Yeah, and Zach and Ed Phi, as people might remember over our Christmas break, that's why we've been in a hiatus for so long for Swing, Swoosh, and Serve. Zach Phi and Ed Phi, the head coach of track at Doane, were both on here, and Zach has its own show on 10 o'clock Wednesdays after ours. Mr. Zach, how about yourself?
I'll take it back a little bit further, actually. Carter and I go way back before that, just mess around at his parents' place out in the country, like shooting BB guns, doing different stuff like that. So if you would have told me then that we'd be on a radio show right now, I would definitely not have believed you.
Talking about your accolades.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, yeah, keep going.
Yeah, and then kind of the same way with knowing Ed Phi, our coach, through flag football, and obviously good relationship with his son Zach, one of the best friends growing up and everything like that. So yeah, Ed, I mean, we all love him obviously, and we were both comfortable with him and decided to come to Doane. So the fact that a lot of the Creek guys are still together and on the track team and around Doane is pretty cool.
Yeah, I find it. He really likes recruiting from the area, and I mean, you guys are bred to be really talented athletes and very respectful people on and off the track. So he's doing a fantastic job. Going on about Coach Phi, what is your favorite attribute, and kind of go into detail about what makes him such a talented coach? I know you guys are part of the team that actually won nationals 3 years ago now. So this will be your 4th season since. So yeah, 3 years ago, your guys' freshman year. How was that? And just describe, Ed's role in that process.
Can we go ahead?
Yeah, I can go ahead. I'd just say like the relationships that he wants to build, and just trying to get you to become like a great young man in like life after track, and like going to class, doing the little things right. And for the championship team, I'd say the biggest thing is building relationships, making those connections, and just going out there every day and competing your hardest, probably.
I would kind of agree exactly with that. I mean, the relationships is something that he and the other coaches talk so much about, building those relationships, and it's a real thing. So I think it starts with Ed, obviously, with how he's able to do it. And I honestly don't know if I know anybody as good at building relationships as Ed. So, it's pretty cool being around him. But yeah, just being able to spread that throughout the team, coaches, athletes, it's pretty special. So.
Yeah, and he really does make a very good relationship with the students and the track athletes. From what I hear, I believe your guys' incoming freshman class this year was over 80, or around that number, maybe around 70.
Both boys and girls, probably.
Yeah, both boys and girls. But
Yeah.
but that's fantastic for your guys' for the size of our school and just the attraction that he gets. I mean, he recruits a lot from small town Nebraska, but there's a lot of hidden talent there. So going back to your guys' events, tell the viewers like what a normal practice. Run me through a normal practice with your specific event in mind. How does that look as opposed to stuff the group does?
Yeah, I guess I can start off. So hurdle wise, there's 5 of us now, 5 hurdlers. So that's kind of cool. Last year it was just 2 of us, which is kind of a fun fact. So yeah, last year me and Ashton Sagehorn were the only 2. So yeah, now there's a few more guys, which is fun. But yeah, that's not the question. But yeah, so I mean, we get there, do the team warm up at 4 with whoever's there, and then we go into our individual hurdle warm up, going over hurdles, doing our wall drills, kind of getting our form right and warmed up, and then yeah, we'll do block starts, whatever hurdle training there is. Nothing too intricate, but
does it seem to be based, or does it like the practices circle around what you need to work on specifically, or is it a more regimented, whatever Ed kind of assigns your guys' specific event for that section or that practice?
yeah, I mean, it's kind of a mixture of both. I mean, we obviously have the drills and things that we do that work, whether it's, building up our acceleration or getting quicker between the hurdles or working on over top of the hurdles. We have different things that we've been doing for a while that works on each of those things. But kind of like you said, if somebody needs a little bit more work on their block start, Tim Jasnock, who's our hurdle coach, or Ed, will, sometimes we'll just do different things based on what we need, kind of like you said. So yeah, a little bit of both.
Carter, you want to touch on what the high jumpers kind of do? How many are in your group right now?
6 or 7. Last year was only 3, and then we added Cooper. So yeah, we expanded quite a bit, and I get the lucky ability to have Ed as my event coach, so that's nice. But we just normally warm up, and then we'll either do technique stuff, which is drills, or we'll go ahead and jump. We'll jump once a week probably, and then after that you go lift, maybe do a little running, and then go see Kelsey probably. So
Mhm. Yeah, and so with yours, I know you touched a little bit earlier in the week, talking to me about it. You guys analyze a lot of videos.
oh yeah, I forgot
Um,
about that too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us about the technology integration that goes into like track and field practice, or just track and field as a sport.
So I guess Ed or whoever's there will normally video for meets especially, and then we'll go over film on Monday and kind of break down what you need to do a little bit better, what you did pretty good that meet, and then I guess we've kind of started doing that in practice too. So just like on the iPad or his phone or whatever he has available. So
Would that be the case with hurdles as well? Do you guys utilize video as much as they do?
Yeah. It I guess my younger first 2 years we didn't do it as much because Jazz, Tim Jasnock, he was the only hurdle coach at that time. So to like start us, and he wasn't able to start us and record. So we now have Logan Hammond, who's our second hurdle coach, who actually was a hurdler with me as well. He's graduated, but he's a coach now, and he kind of takes the video for us now, which is a huge help. So yeah.
Awesome. So as a golfer, I'm on a team of 20 people, and that's pretty large for a golf team, but for, a normal golf team, it's like 12, maybe 15 people at max for a normal college of our size. With you guys, how many people are actively track and field at practice, whether running or not, every day?
Men's and women's combined, or
Yeah, let's do men's and women's
oh
combined.
boy, probably I would say like 100 and what 140 or
yeah, that's what I'd
130,
say.
somewhere in there.
140. Yeah.
So could you guys go into detail about, the challenges you face with having a big group like that, but also the upsides to having a massive group, especially a close group that Ed kind of assembled?
Yeah, I can. That's definitely one of the bigger challenges you face. I feel like with any track team is like kind of getting that culture and everybody to gel, to a certain extent. But I mean, how we kind of do it is just focusing on your individual event groups. So, I've got a pretty good idea on what the hurdlers are doing, but there's no way I can know what the throwers are doing, something like that. So having it kind of like a divide and conquer, we have leaders all over the team, so I feel like having reliable guys on each event group and, doing it that way makes it a lot easier. So
Kurt, do you have anything to add about that?
Yeah, we're very lucky because we got 15 coaches, I think, on the staff. So like to divide that up, 140. I mean, you get your time, and so like that's an easier way to break it down. I mean, and you got people always cheering for you and stuff. And then like, I'd say like one thing that's difficult is like probably like injury prevention, or if you're injured, getting to the training room. Kind of got to split that up since there's only one person there. But
Yeah. Yeah. So with practicing and with that, group dynamic, do you ever pretty consistently interact with different groups, or is there different events that kind of clump close together? I know you guys as Cretians are very familiar with the triple jumpers and the long jumpers because there's a lot of Cretians in that pool. But do you guys find that specific events like to meddle with other events and stuff like that?
yeah, for myself, and high jumpers, we kind of me and us and the triple jumpers go back sometimes, and then pole vaulters as well. But yeah.
yeah, I would say, I guess myself, I kind of like to build a little bit of a relationship with everybody as much as I can, I guess. And I think that, I think everybody interacts with each other a decent bit, maybe more than you'd expect. I mean, I know a lot of the throwers super well. I mean, I feel like everybody's pretty interconnected, for as big a group, like you were saying earlier. I think that it's pretty tight knit. So
Yeah, and with those tight knit connections, do you ever see yourself, looking at others who aren't in the same event as you, something that might not even relate that closely, and still finding a way to improve yourself through what they do, whether that's a performance or just attitude or just the way their work ethic and the way they practice?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, somebody for like Zach, for example, he has great work ethic. He's disciplined. He does all the right things. I mean, you can go back home and look yourself in the mirror and say, I need to be a little bit more disciplined tomorrow, or I need to work a little bit harder every day. Just something like that, for example.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, throwers is an event group that is as a whole is putting in the work. Putting in extra work with whether it's lifting, things like that. You can definitely look at guys in each event and be like, okay, this guy's doing all the right stuff. And I want to follow that lead. So and even if say if you didn't have somebody doing that in your event group, you're like, hey, this guy is successful in such and such event. Maybe I'm gonna go do the little things like he's doing and be that guy for my event group kind of deal.
Yeah,
So,
100%. So, Zach, you are a captain of the track team. There's 4 men's captains, 4 women's captains, correct?
5.
5,
Yeah.
5 and 5.
Yep.
Perfect. So, what challenges do you see? What extra, weight do you take on having that captain title, or even though it might not be a specific role that you have, what do you see in a good captain that you want to, exhibit and operate like?
Yeah. So first question was like what pressure or
Mhm, yeah,
what responsibility
what's
kind of?
responsibilities, and then how do you operate as a captain?
Yeah, I would say I mean it's my second year as captain now. So I mean I don't think any of the captains think that it's like some, high and mighty role. We really are just doing the same exact thing as everybody else on the team, just kind of being a little bit more outspoken maybe with what we're thinking. And I think that kind of your second question, what would you think of as, traits of a good captain? One would be uh, putting in the work yourself and not asking somebody to do something that like you wouldn't do yourself. I mean, I feel like that's kind of step number one. But I don't know, being vocal and voicing what your opinions are, but also taking a step back and listening to what others have to say. I mean, I think our meetings now are more not just on what we say. It's kind of everybody on the team chimes in, which is I think it's been a good thing. So yeah.
100%. Carter, what do you want? What do you look for in a leader on a team like a track team where there's a lot of people? Do you want a person you can relate to, or just a person that, works hard? Are you looking for somebody who is performing well in their area, or they don't have to be performing well as long as they're just a passionate leader?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't. To me, performance it matters, but like if you show up every day with a good attitude and you're putting in the work, and doing everything you can, then I can't ask much more. I mean, Zach said it like everybody's chiming in, everybody's doing their part right now, and like that's all you can ask for personally. And like being disciplined, doing the little things right every day, and just building off days.
Mhm. Step by step. We'd love to
Exactly.
see it. We'd love to see it. So, you gentlemen have had the opportunity to both qualify for nationals this year. How many years can you, or first off, because a lot of people might not understand the process with qualifying for nationals as track athletes, because it's very different compared to, other people, other sports, because you wait until your conference championship to actually qualify. But
Mhm.
I believe, how many meets in did you guys qualify? But before you answer that, what is the process like for qualifying for nationals?
You want
Yeah, I can go. I qualified the first meet, and then so basically for I guess every event, there's a standard and a B standard. A standard is automatic. You go no matter what, and then a B standard is 3 teams get, uh, B standards, and then you can take 3 men and women, so it'd be 6 total for the whole team, but so
Awesome. So does that mean that every team has the opportunity, if they have 3 people or even 1 person hit B standard, they have the opportunity to take that person to nationals?
correct, yeah.
Awesome.
and isn't it kind of depending on like, obviously if there's 25 B standards for a certain event, they might not be able to a B standard might not be able to go, right? Is that
I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure they can take as many as they want, but
okay?
maybe,
Yeah.
I'm not for sure.
Interesting, interesting. So, Zach, how was your process of qualifying for nationals? Because I believe you qualified. Have you qualified this year?
Yep.
Yep, perfect. Okay,
Mhm.
so how many meets was that in?
The
Into the
first meet
first meet?
December. Yep.
Like I said, these gentlemen are studs on the on the track and field. So tell us about what benchmark you had to hit, and tell us what you got, and then just what's your history been with nationals? How many times have you qualified?
Yeah, I have definitely a high and low journey with nationals myself. Freshman year indoor, I hit A standard for the hurdles and went ran horribly. Like ran almost a second slower than my PR, which in a 60-meter race is terrible. So that was kind of an experience for me. I was like, man, I really gotta kind of lock in, buckle down, and get after it a little bit. Outdoor went in the 110s. I got seventh, and then sophomore year hurdles. I guess I should also mention the 4x4. I've been on some good relay teams. So indoor and outdoor, my freshman year, we got fourth, I think both. So sophomore year started to pick it up a little bit. Actually, underperformed again in the 60 hurdles indoor nationals. And kind of from there, I kind of started to figure it out with the hurdles. That I think it's a lot of it takes a lot to take the step from qualifying to like actually going and placing or doing well at nationals. You kind of say, okay, I'm qualified, I'm in, I've done this. You look at the rankings, it's like, oh man, I'm sitting whatever.
Mhm.
But you get to the meet, it's like, okay, wow, I actually got to go do it. So for me, I kind of had a challenge of breaking through and being able to go and show up the day of and do it. But once you finally do it, it's kind of you get more consistent with it. So
And then junior year, what was your performance at nationals?
junior year, I got runner up in the 60 hurdles at nationals. In our 4x4, we got seventh. I had a unfortunate tumble on the lead leg, so that was my bad. If you other guys are listening, so sorry about that. But yeah, and then I got hurt after indoor nationals and didn't compete outdoor. So
Carter, run us through your journey of getting through nationals and getting to the point where you are right now.
Yeah, so I mean, I've hit A every time for high jump. My freshman year, I went as alternate for 4x4. So, and then my career is a little different. Freshman year was rough, and then sophomore was a little rough. I ended up placing seventh my sophomore year, and then indoor, I had some dumb decisions outside of track, which hurt my indoor performance. Then outdoor, I was sitting third, probably put a little bit too much pressure on myself. So now, I mean, it's just go get it. There's not no pressure anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's fantastic that not your A game is still seventh in the nation.
yeah.
For both of you are still placing and doing consistently quality, even though you feel like you're not at those like A games. And do you think that was more like your body, or do you think that was more mental sharpness at that time?
definitely mental sharpness. I mean, that's the biggest barrier, national wise. I mean, myself, I haven't had a problem with conference, but nationals, it's like, oh, you're hearing so much about, oh, you're supposed to do this. So and so is supposed to do this. It's definitely a mental game. It can be hard to just turn your brain off in the moment and just focus on what you need to do. Probably the hardest thing in track, in my opinion.
And for you, Carter, for doing such like a brief event, which you would call it, where it's like 4 seconds of just
Mhm.
extreme focus as opposed to, running a 4x4 where it's like I have to lock in for 60 seconds right before I run to right when I hand the baton off. It's it's locked in a lot more. How do you find that being different? Because you said yourself you ran the 4x4 and
Mhm.
you also did high jump. So take us through the differences between those two mentally and how you kind of came to choose high jump compared to 4x4.
I mean, I just wasn't as talented in the 400, but I feel like the difference is like the 400. It's a more of a want to thing. If you want to go run you just go run as hard as you can, and that's all there really is to it, in my opinion. I mean, Zach can go ahead and talk about that, but high jump, yeah, you got to get locked in for the moment, and then you just go jump. For me personally, I do visualization before, and then just go get it. I kind of black out during my jumps. So I don't really know what's going on a lot of times, but just a lot of muscle memory, I guess.
Yeah. Zach, do you have anything to add on to, the difference between running longer distances compared to, you know, that 600 or 60-meter hurdles. That, I mean, what was your most previous, or what was your PR from this year?
PR for the hurdles?
Yeah.
So I guess my PR is a 7.90 from last year, and I hit that again this year. So I guess your prior question about, I guess I'll start where Carter kind of did with the 400. We have that in common, but like you said, that's like the race you hear about, the 400, 800. It's like, man, that one sucks. You know, it's like you just kind of have to, like you said, just have the want to and go do it. And then you get down to like my race, the 60 hurdles indoor is super like, man, if you have a bad start, your race is done kind of. So it's definitely not like same as the high jump in that sense, you know, to that extent, to where it's such a minute detail that you mess up and it messes everything up. But like, I definitely respect those events a lot more, you know, having noticed like, man, if I have a bad start and you're behind by only so much, you know, that's a 1/10 of a second. So yeah.
Do you well, actually, I believe that once we get back, we'll cover how nationals, the environment is like, and then we'll go into injury because you brought that up earlier. But we're going to swing it to a little break right now. Remember, text in 402-464-5685, and you can tune in wherever you can find, you know, live streaming services, Allo Channel 961.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. Early break with Sip and Jake.
So he can maybe run a
So
little
like
bit.
speed option, those things, all you want to do.
Speed. I can't see much.
It's also it's you.
Uh-oh.
Look what you did. Look what you did. Look
Calm
at Bill.
down.
Come on
Just
now.
calm down.
I don't say anything about semicolons or should there be a
Word usage?
parentheses or
Too many commas over there.
too many
Zip. Come on.
run-on sentences. Don't talk about that. It's not my wheelhouse.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
I think it's just vapor. Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as 1 pack of cigarettes.
My kid
knows it's dangerous. 5.4 million American kids vape, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards luncheon on October 27th in Omaha. Help us thank volunteers with a celebration to remember. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Mario fue pintor más de 30 años. Cuando me dijo que se le estaban olvidando las cosas, fue difícil. Un día me dijeron que pintara el marco del lado por dentro y pinté el lado de afuera.
Yo le diría a la gente que le diga a su familia lo que está pasando con él.
Si algo se nota diferente, podría ser Alzheimer. Es momento de hablarlo. Visita alz.org/nuestras historias para saber más. Un mensaje de the Alzheimer's Association y the Ad Council.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action. Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into Ticket Weeknights. I am Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. This is the Doane Athlete Project. And again, if you guys ever want to join the show, Sartor Heyman text line 402-464-5685. And feel free to put a face to the voice, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo channel 961. I got a couple from the text line here. We'll start with this one from 7809, unknown texter. Question for Carter. I know that you guys are Doane athletes, but how does Nebraska football need to improve to get on the same level as teams like Michigan, who just won the national championship? And if you can answer this question, you guys get a head coaching job somewhere in the near future.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, that's the first thing I was going to say. Harbaugh's gone, so Matt Rule's doing a pretty good job keeping players around in the transfer portal. You know, honestly, he's just a good leader too.
You like you eat up those pregame speeches that go crazy on social media?
Oh yeah,
the Mother's Day one that was pretty great.
Oh yeah, and he builds relationships too. Keep that in mind.
Oh yeah,
KD did sign off on him. I don't know if you guys ever saw that tweet.
Really?
Oh yeah, KD's a fan. So
oh yeah, I saw that too.
Fantastic.
Carter,
Okay.
you got any thoughts on that one? I know. Are you a Nebraska fan?
I'm a Nebraska fan. He's a Michigan fan.
Yeah. So.
Oh, okay. My bad. Maybe that's why. Well, you're a Michigan fan. That's why I had your mic.
Yeah, we muted his mic so that he just can't give any Michigan takes.
But let's get to another one here from another unknown texter, 8292. This is a good question. What traits make up some of the greatest competitors you've trained, played, / ran with?
Oh man. Confidence, extremely hard worker. I mean, you got to be able to look at yourself and say, hey, I'm not. I mean, you got to be confident, but you can't also just always walk around and act like you're, the top dog and not put in the work to do it. So I don't know.
How do you balance that fine line? Because, like you said, you don't want to go in there thinking like, oh man, I might not win today, but you don't want to be walking around thinking you're winning everything all the time.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, for me, it's pretty easy to get humbled, go up to D1 meets and get, your doors blown off. So that's a pretty good way to stay humble. But I don't know. My goal kind of myself is to like put in the right amount of work and preparation to where it feels like I'm just ready to go and win.
Yeah, absolutely. Zach, what does that look like for you in the golf world?
It for me, it looks kind of different because you don't really get to see that grit that a lot of people get other than when you're playing match play, when you're in like a stroke play event where it's very isolated. You see those people who are just playing smart. They make the right decisions, and I think last year we were fortunate enough to win the last three tournaments of our postseason, and then got to go to nationals because of that. And I think especially at our conference tournament, we were playing smarter than any other team that I've seen. I've had the luxury of getting coached in high school and in college by two coaches who say play conservative, take the smarter route because it's going to win every time. And I really wasn't. I didn't have enough experience with seeing that pan out until we actually went to conference. And towards the final stretch, when we're going neck and neck against a talented crew of Morningside in Iowa and Northwestern in Iowa, we're going head to head, and then I hit an iron off the tee, and the guy from Northwestern, who is 2 strokes behind us, and any of the guys in our group can make them, or any of the guys on my team can make a mistake and end up flipping the script. He takes driver and hits it long, and then or hits it long of the fairway, and then the bad lie hits it long of the green, and then tries to do the hero play and chip it out and hits a tree and bounces down and just makes a triple bogey and ends up flipping the tides. And I was like, wow, I on that hole too, I hit it in the fairway. Then I hit the worst iron shot of my life, way right of the green, no angle to the green. I could hit it over a bunker, under trees, and maybe get it close to the green, or I could just chip it to the right and land it on the largest part of the green. So I did that, took a smart bogey, and it's moments like those where it realized that those are the smart people are the ones you don't notice, but still end up kicking your butt at the end of the day.
Yeah. What is the one spot when you're playing golf that when you look at the best golfers, they're masters in this part of the course? This is the greens, is the drive right off the bat. Like, what's the one sweet spot that if you're going to be a pro golfer, you better have this part of the course down?
That's so difficult because there's so many different like logical ways to approach golf and view different parts, because now the driver is becoming very important in the golf game, as opposed to you had that saying drive for show, putt for dough, and now people are tossing that to the side because driving is setting you up for everything. But then irons are the most common thing that you hit, and putting is fantastic. But I think approach and around the greens are becoming, the big thing, where if you can be really delicate and put yourself in good spots, and we're really hammering home the mental side of things, where you pick the correct target and you don't go for pins every time. You aim for places where if you do hit it, it's going to end up pretty well, and you're not going to lose that many strokes compared to everybody else. But it's mainly the approach shots and the around the green stuff, because then if you hit good approach shots, you don't have to worry about drives. But if you hit bad drives, or if you hit good drives, your approach could still be messed up, and it doesn't set you up for success. But if you're always hitting fantastic iron shots, it doesn't matter where you put your drive. It doesn't matter if you're putting well from 30, or you're not putting well from 30 feet and out. You don't have to worry about it because you're hitting it inside that.
Yeah, I'm always intrigued. Because that's one where that's why I play for fun, because I'll get too upset if I try to master every little aspect of it. But yeah, you hear it all the time. Sometimes you win games on the greens, but I like your take. You're using your irons a lot more than about any other club, and you get a master about those. When it comes to track, I'm curious. I noticed we heard what events you're in right now, but if there was one event that you guys would absolutely love to try, which one is that?
That's a good one.
I would say pole vault or triple jump. I tried to do multis for a little bit, and fell in hurdles and broke my elbows. So I don't really want to do that again. So I have a lot of respect for Zach, but I'd say pole vault or triple jump.
You ever pole vault before?
I did a little bit actually when I was trying to be a multi. I know it was pretty fun.
Okay, what was your high? Do you remember?
No, I never made it to meet because it was in practice before our first meet.
Okay.
So when I broke my elbow, yeah.
All right, so pole vault. What about you?
I would kind of, I guess it's not an individual event, but the multi-event, kind of getting a little bit of everything. So it's like pole vault, long jump, high jump.
Oh, okay.
Hurdles and sprints. I don't know. I just thought it'd be cool to kind of train everything and see what we could do.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. What about, do you think there's any events, like if you're trying to draw crowds to track and field events, which, I think about one point in time is the biggest thing ever. You can find pictures when track and field was going on, even here at Nebraska. that place was packed. Are there any events that you guys could create off the top of your head to get people back, those stands filled up? Because we used to do a thing in high school. For use of better terms, we'll call it the throwers relay. We had a different name for it, but it was a lot of fun seeing that one, just seeing the throwers go out there and try to run like a 400 relay. But is there any other events that you guys got that you think would be fun and also add to some of the spectatorship?
I would say that like one that track people talk about and just everyday people who have never run track talk about is I think that a ton of people would show up if you just had an event where you've got all your collegiate competitors, whatever, and then you just got one average Joe, like say a 35-year-old.
Yeah, I like that.
Like a 35-year-old accountant or something.
Give them the biggest head start possible, like what they do in the outfields of football or baseball games, where you just give them a massive head start and see how long it takes, or how long is the maximum.
Oh, like the freeze in MLB.
Exactly.
Yeah,
the freeze.
that'd be a great one.
Mhm.
Oh man, can you imagine what that'd look like with like Usain Bolt if they got to that even in the Olympic level?
Oh my
Just get your
goodness.
average Joe with those
They
guys.
pull them from the crowd. You all enter in a raffle at the beginning of the day. It's like whose knees are feeling up for it. Put your ticket in, and then like race against Zach Turner and see exactly how fast you are.
Oh.
Very demeaning.
I think it'd be fun. Something to consider. I like that idea. One more from the text line before we get to our next break here. This one is from 8292 again. I'll use different words here. What are some of the activities you guys used to do in the Crete countryside? What were some of the hobbies growing up? I know hunting is a big one up there, but not everyone's kind of your hunting typical guy. What were the things that you guys enjoyed doing?
I would say just like we'd go out mudding and stuff, hunting, shooting guns, stuff like that. Maybe a beer here and there, but that's about it.
Yeah, you kind of hit the nail on the head. Probably all the stereotypical stuff. You hear about small town stuff. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah, don't get it misconstrued. It's exactly what you expect.
Yeah,
it's
true.
It's nothing more, nothing less.
Loud trucks.
Yeah, you imagine it: trucks, mud, cornfields, bonfires. It's a country song. That's that's Crete, Nebraska. When you guys were in high school.
Sounds like a good life. With that being said, we'll go ahead and throw it to break here. This is the Doane Athlete Project. And again, this will be the last one for Ticket Weeknight. So if you want to join the show, Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. We'll throw it to break and talk to you guys on the other side.
How was your drive to school?
Let me tell you, I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Cuando me dijo que se le estaban olvidando las cosas, fue difícil. Un día me dijeron que pintara el marco del lado por dentro y pinté el lado de afuera.
Yo le diría a la gente que le diga a su familia lo que está pasando con él.
Si algo se nota diferente, podría ser Alzheimer. Es momento de hablarlo. Visita alz.org/, nuestras historias para saber más. Un mensaje de the Alzheimer's Association y the Ad Council.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now, through January 28th, enjoy Lincoln's favorite USDA Choice Bacon Wrapped Sirloin Fillets for just $3.99 per 8-ounce cut. All natural whole Boston butt for $1.49 per pound, and lumberjack pellets for $7.99 per 20-pound bag. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn. Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards luncheon on October 27th in Omaha. Help us thank volunteers with a celebration to remember. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Are you tired of living in pain? It's time to take control. At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, we're your one-stop shop for expert care in Lincoln. From broken bones to complex reconstruction, our skilled team will help you get back on track. Visit prairieortho.com today and discover why we're the trusted choice for thousands of patients. Don't let pain hold you back. Take the first step towards a better, pain-free life with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins. Call 402-489-4700.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
And we are back with the Doane Project. Swing, swish, and serve, but a little different this week. So we're kind of getting close to the end, but I did want to cover, Carter, you spoke about injuries and recovery, and I kind of just wanted to talk about in a sport riddled with injury. I mean, there's no program in the nation that doesn't have a few people out right now just because it's just so strenuous. So talk about the culture around injury on the team, what you guys do to prevent it, and what recovery looks like at a university like Doane.
Yeah. I think a lot of it is not just kind of knowing your body, you know, knowing when you're pushing it too hard, being transparent with the coaches, building that trust with them so they know that you're not just fluffing, you know. But also shout out to Kelsey. I don't know if you're watching or listening. Kelsey keeps us right in the training room. So yeah.
Yeah, to piggyback off that, I'd say just like trusting the process as well. And like if you need to go into the training room, getting in there in the morning or before practice or after practice. Not a couple other things I'd just say drinking lots of water. I feel like it's probably underrated, and getting sleep, and then just trying to eat decently well. It's kind of hard as track athletes or not track athletes, but college athletes.
And also knowing if you're injured, not being afraid to take your time and, you know, not try to rush back. Cause like if you're hurt and on the sidelines, you want to be back as soon as you can. So like knowing when you got to take your time.
So you said you broke your elbow. You said you didn't specify the injury that you had for the second half of your junior year. What happened, and what was that process like with recovery?
I had a stress fracture in my fibula. Yeah.
Little bone.
On the outside here. Yeah, right above the ankle. And yeah, it kind of, I thought it was just like a little bump. I didn't think anything of it. And then trying to keep training on it, it progressively hurt worse and worse. And eventually found out it was stress fracture.
So what was how did you go about recovery and getting back to, you just tied your school record that you and your PR. And so tell us about like that recovery and what you did to ensure that continual success going forward.
Yeah, at first I was of the mindset that I was going to be back for outdoor, you know, and like, I mean, I didn't really know how serious it was at first, so I kept trying to train on it and train on it and train on it. And yeah, it just got to the point where I was like, okay, I realized I can't do this, and that obviously sucked. But from then, I just kind of took my couple months off because there's really not much you can do from there, and then came back into it, started to slowly ease back into it. Was healthy for the start of the season, then I wasn't. My foot started hurting. I went to a good PT, Adam Gensler, and he got me right. So, you know, just kind of trusting the right people, being in with the right people, and they get you back on the track. So,
and Carter, with your broken elbow, do you think it was pretty straightforward with recovery, since, you know, you don't utilize that nearly as often with jumping, other than, you know, the pumping of the arms? But
yeah, I mean, I broke my elbow and then sprained my ankle as well. But my elbow wasn't that bad because it was before the first meet indoor, so I just took off all of December, and then I was back for the first meet in January, so it wasn't terrible. But like seeing Kelsey really helped me out, getting my mobility back and stuff and lifting. So yeah.
And just a little question here: what do you prefer, indoor or outdoor track?
Outdoor.
And why is that?
I feel like outdoor is just like you know, how track is meant to be. On the bigger track, weather most of the time is pretty good. Just, I don't know, it just feels like that's how track is supposed to be, kind of like I said.
Carter?
I would say outdoors as well. I like when it gets real hot, to be honest.
Makes it fun. Work up a little sweat. It's a fantastic environment being at a track, invite in general. So I really enjoy it. You guys are back in action this weekend. You got some throwers going up to SDSU, but you guys will be in action in Seward at the Concordia Invite. You're there a lot during indoors, and so they do a fantastic job at hosting. But I really appreciate you gentlemen tuning in. But thank you everybody for watching. Wednesday evenings, 10 to 11. Those are the Doane Project hours. I really appreciate everybody, and have a fantastic rest of your night.